Hey guys, Easy as Pie here again. It's been a while since I made a video, so I thought I'd throw one out there. So as you can guess, tonight's video will be about ride plates. So it won't necessarily be about the installation, but it will be about some of the characteristics of different shapes and different aspects of these ride plates. So just to give you a little background, I don't have any stock plates unfortunately, but I did round up a couple others that I could show you guys. This is a Mariner plate. This is probably the closest to a stock plate between these two. It is extended, and we'll talk about that a little later. And this is an R&D engineering plate. So it is made out of sheet aluminum. It's bent and cut into this particular shape. It features both what would be considered a D-cut, that's this piece here, and venting on the bottom. And all of those have different characteristics when you're riding them. So first let's talk about extended plates. It's commonly recommended to get extended plates for a few different reasons. The number one thing a ride plate does is it acts kind of like a wing, basically. So if you extend the wing, or in the back, you're going to create more lift, basically, in the back end. And what that does is it keeps your nose from getting up in the air. It helps you keep on plane, basically. So that's the extended plate. And alternatively, there is what's known as the D-cut. And you can do this on your own, or you can buy plates like this, but if you understand what an extended ride plate does, you probably have a pretty good idea what a D-cut does as well then. So if you cut off less of that wing, then your bottom end will sit down more. Another result of having a D-cut is that when you are riding your I should say the pump actually, which sets in this area, will set lower in the water because you're not creating as much lift, so the pump sits lower, and you're going to see more friction from the bottom of the ski, but you'll also see more thrust from your pump. We'll go back over to the Mariner here, and if you flip these over, you'll notice another difference pretty quickly. So you'll see on this Mariner plate it has these chines or sponsons or fins basically that run along the bottom, and you'll see on this R&D one it's pretty smooth. So fins do exactly what you think they do. They keep you going in one direction. They provide grip, so you may see it may be more difficult to turn with a plate like this that has these. So as it starts to move sideways, they want to straighten you out all the time. So if you're into going really fast, going fast in straight lines, I should say, something with fins would be helpful. Alternatively, on this plate, it doesn't have fins, and you would find yourself being able to get sideways a lot easier. Now, while I'm on that point of being able to turn and change direction quickly, we'll change our focus on this piece actually. And this is known as a traction vent. It comes in a variety of shapes, but this one seems to be, it's this shape. But what this does is, as you're turning, it allows water to enter here, and it will actually act as a brake. And not only will it act as a brake because water is being pushed in through that hole, but it will also act, basically as a rudder. So as you're turning, it will help you get grip into that corner basically. It'll be funneling water in, and it'll help you turn very quickly. These are great for making quick directional changes basically. So now, just knowing those differences, you'll quickly be able to assess the type of plate you want. So this one's basically just for cruising, getting some speed and just general bopping around. This thing is made for like freestyle, if you want to make quick directional changes and you're interested in doing that kind of stuff. So and you can apply those same pieces of information to pretty much any plate. I don't have a stocker, like I said, And one other type of ride plate I don't have is a concave ride plate. So you'll see on both of these the bottoms are flat. On a concave, it's just that. It'll make an arch here in the center, which gives you kind of an in-between of both of these. So this one has fins, this one does not. If you create a concave shape, you get kind of the best of both of these worlds. So it's not flat on the bottom necessarily, but at the same time, it doesn't have pronounced fins. So that's what's known as a concave ride plate. They're significantly more expensive than these two styles because of the complex curves that are involved. Well, I don't know if that's the reason they're expensive, but they're expensive nonetheless. So, but typically that curve will be in a large V shape, and it'll look kind of like the hood of an airplane, basically, in this space right here. Now, like I said, this is not an installation video, but I'm going to give you a few tips. If you're going to switch one of these out, it's as simple as removing these 4 bolts here. And you're going to find that this thing is most likely going to be heavily siliconed into place, so much so that you could probably, not necessarily this one, but on this one, if you poured water on the bottom side, you wouldn't find water entering your pump. And there's a reason for that. Whenever your pump's running, it's trying to suck water in through. And on top of that, if there were spaces for air to get through, it would suck in air, and the air would enter your pump, and you would lose traction, basically. So everyone knows jet skis are not, they're not hovercraft. You don't blow them around. You can't use air to propel a jet ski. You need water. So whenever you get all that caulking cut away, it's just plain old silicone caulking. You'll cut it away, this whole thing it'll tear out of there, basically. It might take a while, but whenever you go to install this, make sure that you have this completely sealed. So when you're looking at the bottom of the ski like this, just caulk it until it's basically flat all the way around. And when you put your bolts back in, put some Loctite on those bolts. You don't want to lose those. And then on top of that, go ahead and just throw a little bit of caulking over the top of your bolt holes, and that will that'll allow the water to pass over it more seamlessly. It'll make it more aerodynamic. So those are the key differences between various types of ride plates. I hope this has been helpful. If you have any suggestions, throw it in the comments section. As always, thanks for watching. Check out my other videos.